it's real in the field. This for my niggas that nail on the field. Light-skinned nigga, you gon' find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that nail on the field. Light-skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. Belly of the beast, we been living in hell. They like, damn, Kai, how could you tell? Put us in the project, set us up to fail. Round here, bullets be flying like hell. Too many of my niggas either dead or in jail. Make a nigga work when you locked in a cell. Can't find work when you out on bail, but your homie got the work, so we passed you a scale. Got them birds like the Bible got quail. Niggas selling out cause they mama got bills. Turning the coons like Oprah and Gail. How you sell your soul just to get a little kale? They put you in a dress when you get a record deal. Wanna see a nigga getting high on pills? You can dance on a pole, you can sell that tail, but they never tell a nigga that he can go to Yale. We all created equal, that's white males. All lives matter, not black males. Another mother crying, another coffin got a nail. How many brothers out here got killed? How many of our sisters out here gotta heal? How many more cats gotta get peeled? We beef with each other so quick to pull the steel. George Zimmerman still alive and well. I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that nail on the field. Light-skinned nigga, you can find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that nail on the field. Light-skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. I turn up when it's real in the field. Feel. This for my niggas that nail on the field. Feel. Light-skinned nigga, you gon' find me in the field. Feel. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. Chill. Yo, chill.
The industrial complex is a system situated at the intersection of government and private interests. It uses prisons as a solution to social, political, and economic problems. It includes human rights violations, the death penalty, slave labor, policing, courts, the media, political prisoners, and the elimination of dissent.
They just want us to die in silence. They just want us to die in silence. They just want us to die in silence. I might start me a fucking riot. Slave rebellion, no compliance. They just want us to die in silence. They murder minds like they got a license. I pray for the coronavirus to kill all of these violent tyrants. They prey on us like they poaching lions. World War III's on the horizon. Black and Hispanics form alliance. From the west coast to the islands, this pressure is making diamonds. They've awakened sleeping giants. I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that nail on the field. Light-skinned nigga, you can find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that nail on the field. Light-skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. I turn up when it's real in the field. Feel. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. But feel.
Nigga, did you just say what I was trying to say, but smarter? I like this little nigga.
Rising K.
Listen! The phone is ringing.
I got the call,
The phone is ringing.
ain't calling off.
La Yasharala, which means to Israel. Almadia, Wapanya Hagoda. Then face east. All right, we're doing the Lord's Prayer, first in Hebrew, then in English. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shamka, Yahweh, Malak Wathka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayam, Natan Lanawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalak Lanawa, Kawab, Salakit, Kawabwat Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kawabwat Yanawa, Wala'a, Taba'ana, that's like it. Tabaya Anawa, Banasayawan, Abal, Hawashainawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwath, Waha'Allah, Wahata, it's like it. Wahatapa Arath, La'ai Walamyam, Aman, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Baba Kasha, Nathan Lanawa, Haka, Haka, Lorapa'ah, Kal Makala, Wakal Madawa, Haka, Latahar, Hamatazarium, Hakak, Lahakwayam, Hamathium, Haka, Ilrakawath, Hatama'ala, Lagarashan, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, the water, Aman, in English. Lord, in the name of Jesus, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Jesus, thank you, so be it. All right. Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Barak Lanawa, Wayasharala, Waha, Bayath Zapariam, Barak, Rapa'ah, Magan, Hagan, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Thawada, Aman. Lord, in the name of Jesus, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect. In the name of Jesus, thank you. So be it. sir. Yeshabia. Face seat. Scripture. Check. All right. All right. So today we're gonna be starting in 19th chapter of Exodus. We'll start at the first verse. All right. All right. And it reads as follows. Bakadash. Hashalaya Shaya. It's like it. Lataza'ath. Banai. Yasharal. It's like Yasharala. Ma'arataza. Matazarium. Bayawam. Hazaha. Baal. Madabar. Sayanaya. Wayasawa. It's like it. Wayasaiwa. Maya. It's like it. Marapayadayam. Marapayadayam. Wayaba. Madabar. Sayana. Wayakana. Bab Madabar. Wayakhan. Sham. Yasharala. Nagad. Hahar. Wamasha. Allah. Al. It's like Allah. Alahayim. Wayakwa. It's like a Wayakwa. Alaya. Yahweh. Man. Hahar. La'amar. Ka. The Amar. Labayath. Yaiquab. Wasta Gayad. Labana. Yasharala. Atham. Ra'a Yatham. Ashar. Ashiyathia. Lamatazarium. Wa Asha'a. Athakam. Isle. Kanapai. Nasharium. Wa'aba. It's like Wa'aba'a. Athakam. Allah. Wa'atha. Shemawai. The Shemaiwa. Bakaya. Washamar Thumb. Ath. Variathia. Wahaya Thumb. Sagala. McCall. Yum Yum. Kai. Alai. Call. Ha'atazarium. It's like it. Ha'arataza. Wa'athum. Ta'aya. Lai. Mama Kaloth. It's like it. Mama Lakat. Yeah. Mama Lakoth. It's like it. Kahanayam. Wagawaya. Kadawash. Allah. Hadabarium. Ashar. Thadabar. All. Benai. Asharala. Wayaba'a. Masha. Wayakwara. Latazakwana. Ha'aim. Wayasham. Lapanaya Hum. Ath. Call. Hadabarium. Ha'Allah. Ashar. Tazar Wahawa. Yahweh. Stop there, verse. Stop there, verse 7.
Exodus chapter 19, verse 1. In the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were going forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai.
So this is talking about when, after, the Passover, after, quote unquote, the Exodus out of Egypt when we were in the wilderness, right? This is leading up to when we get the codified law, the law, statutes, and commandments written down from the Most High, right? Because we already had these laws, right? But they weren't written down in the form of what we have today, like a constitution, right? Because we were just a family before this. When we went into Egypt, we were just a family. It was 70 souls that entered Egypt, right? And over, I think they said it was close to 2 million ended up leaving Egypt. Because, Israel, we multiply fast, right? 400 years, 70 people turned into 2 million. I believe that. You know what I mean? You give Judah, Ephraim, and Issachar enough time, we'll populate the whole planet by ourselves. You know what I mean?
Damn right.
Especially if you remove a Planned Parenthood. Right. So, we were populating. So we were coming out of Egypt as not just a family but a nation, right? So this was the Most High giving us. He's about to give us these laws, like I said, in a standard form, in a standardized form, written down. All right. All right, keep going.
Verse 2. For they were departed from Rephidim and were come to the desert of Sinai and had pitched in the wilderness.
Right. So this is, and this is talking about how we were in the desert this whole time, right? So this is why, like, when we do the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread, we were on the move, right? We were running. We didn't have time to sit around and let, again, because back then all we really had was wild yeast. It wasn't no baking soda, there wasn't no baking powder, and there wasn't no packaged yeast. It was wild yeast. So basically everything was pretty much like sourdough, right? But that takes time. It takes time to sit there and wait for the yeast to build up, and then it's to start to ferment. Then you have to keep continually feeding the yeast, and then it starts to develop the flavor, and then you actually have something you can work with. We ain't had that much time. Right? We were on the move. So, this is, we talking about, we just camped out in the tent. We just left this city. We right out here in front of Sinai, right? All right, keep going.
And there Israel camped before the mount.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 3. And Moses went up unto the Salakia. And Moses went up unto the Most High. And the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob.
So Moses, he wasn't just the who the Most High used to deal with Pharaoh, right? We as a people had Moses immediately as our leader, right? It wasn't even a question at the time, right? Because this is before we started too much backbiting against Moses, because niggers can't never do nothing right for too long. So
right.
This is before we started doing all that stuff, and we realized that the Most High was with that man, right? Because there wasn't no way the Pharaoh was letting us out of that captivity unless that man did what he did. So we see that the Most High is with him, right? So when Moses went up, be honest, Israel always been, a little cautious, a little precautious about going into a situation they don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's a voice coming from that mountain. You go up there. Like, I'm not. No, you go check that out and then come back and tell us. It's not like we Edomite too. We hear something we don't know. We want to go check around the corner every 2 seconds. Nah, we'll see what happened when it happened. Right, so they sent Moses up there, right? They allowed him to go, and nobody really followed him. They just waited. Keep going.
And the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thou shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel, Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians.
So now, this message is so people like to say that, oh, it was a mixed multitude. That means a bunch of nations. That wasn't the case. They just walked out. So if they were all still together, that quote unquote mixed multitude, meaning other nations, would have still been there. The mixed multitude was the different doctrines, right? Because everybody wasn't out there all on one accord. Everybody wasn't all the way with Moses' plan. Everybody had their own ideas. You know what I mean? A mixed multitude is like saying, well, you got, two men in the UPK, you got two Pentecostals, you got two Baptists, you got two Methodists, you got two Mormons. That's mixed. They don't even think the same. They barely even look at each other the same.
Right.
Right. So this is that mixed multitude. And the Most High is telling him, go and speak to the children of Israel. Right. Keep reading.
And how I bear you on eagle's wings.
Now, see, he was making an example of how he took us out from the land of Egypt, from our bondage, right? And not only that, here too, he's also showing that this is a separation between the Israelites and the Egyptians, right?
That's right.
We ain't the same as these Africans, right? He did things to them for us, right? He bore us on eagle's wing. He saved us from them, right? And the most glorious thing about that is what he did in Egypt is tiny, small, minuscule in comparison to what he's going to do in this day when he comes against us, as the Bible says, from the land of the north, right? Where we come out of this captivity, right? Because Egypt was a quote unquote world power at the time, but the world they knew was so much smaller than it is now.
Right.
So the empire Egypt has nothing on what America has today, right? And it's so wonderful and glorious going over these lessons of our history to see what the Most High has done and to understand what He's going to do, right? And he bore us on eagle's wings. That means we flew high above and over. We weren't touched by anything, right? When eagles fly, they don't touch anything. They're in the air.
Damn right.
Right? So when we got out of Egypt, nothing touched us. That Egyptian army was chasing us, but they didn't touch us. We crossed on dry land and they got drowned, right?
Right.
He bore us on eagle's wings. It was smooth sailing, right? Keep reading.
And brought you unto myself.
Uh-huh.
Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant,
Uh-huh.
then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people.
See, it's always been so simple for Israel.
Damn right.
It's always been so simple. See, we overcomplicate it. We think too much. We think we got to do so much or too much. Just follow the law, statutes, and commandments. And it's not that hard. It's not that difficult. I mean, it becomes more difficult the more you're in the world, and the worse you get, the more away from the laws of the Most High God you get.
Right.
It does become more difficult. But the simple fact of the matter is, following the Most High's laws are easy. Ask any child growing up in the UPK. You know what I mean? They not stressed about that. Oh yeah, we don't celebrate birthdays. I get a gift when I get a gift because I did something good, not because it's a day. I get something because my parents love me, not because society told them that they got to get me a gift on this day or they got to do something for me on this day. It's real easy.
And
But
Shalaki.
go ahead.
And like you just saying, I'm paraphrasing, but the scripture says that they're not grievous. The laws are not grievous.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
And like you were just saying, the more vices you have trying to keep up with what's going on in this world, in this wicked kingdom, the harder it is for you to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You're not going to be able to do it.
Damn right. And that's the beauty about the UPK, because everybody I met in the UPK, they had problems coming in here.
Damn right.
And they got rid of them problems. Now you come to a place where you got resources of men and women who shed that old man and can show you how to do it, right? But again, these laws that the Most High gave us are not difficult. He has simple requirements for Israel, right?
Damn right.
Do what I said, and that's it. That's it. If I didn't say you couldn't do it, if I didn't, just you all right. Just do what I said. Make sure you follow my orders, and you fine. Like any good parent, right? Well, as long as my kids follow what I tell them to do, it's what. So, the Most High is just telling us, that all we got to do is follow His commandments, right? Follow His laws, statutes, commandments, and love Him. How difficult is it to love a God, first off, who loves you above all others, who created you better than everybody else, and then who will destroy any and every nation that stands in your way? What's not to love? You know what I mean? That He punishes you for when you try to destroy yourself? Like, you still got to love Him for that. Because He doesn't punish anybody else. He doesn't warn anyone else from their destruction. He allows them to destroy themselves. Us, He tries to stop us. He pleads with Israel. You know what I'm saying? Like, just do what I said. And then you don't have to go through this, right? But this is Him giving us as a nation our laws. This is us, receiving these laws in the first place, right? Keep going.
For all the earth is mine. Verse 6, and ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests.
Now, see, He said we will be a kingdom of priests. Now, this is Exodus 19, right? This is before we started acting like we ain't had no sense. And then He had to choose the sons of Aaron who remained loyal. But the original intent was the entire nation of men to be priests. The entire kingdom of men to be priests, right? That is our proper position.
Damn right.
Right, that is what we're supposed to be doing. And the word priest, is not just like actually, let me go ahead and get to that. All right, so priest. Priest in the Hebrew is kahan, right? Kahan means priest, principal officer, or chief ruler, right? You're a nation of principal officers. You're a nation of chief rulers, right? We were created to rule this earth, right? So, he's telling us, he's given us our royalty, our leadership, our command right here. And all we have to do is follow His orders, right? You can't expect to be, a lieutenant, a captain in the military, and you can't follow the orders of the general. You know what I'm saying? Like, the general has passed out an order, and you have not followed it. So how in the world are you going to be, how are you going to rule? How are you going to go over other men, right? You can't, because you're out of order, right? So we have to follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. That's how we maintain in order with Him, and then that's how we become rulers of this earth, because we cannot rule unless we are in line, right? We cannot rule unless we are in order. All right, keep going.
And an holy nation.
A set apart, a separate nation, right? Holy means separate. Holy means set apart. Don't get that Christianity out of your head where it means, beautiful heart music and all that. It doesn't mean none of that. It means separate. A separate, a segregated, a nation to itself, a nation by itself, right? So we're supposed to be a nation of rulers who are in a class of our own, who are by ourselves, right? This is our proper position, right? Keep going.
These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
So the Most High is telling Moses, like, listen, tell them exactly what I just said.
I'm right.
Don't try to change anything. Follow my laws and commandments, and you will be a nation of rulers who are to themselves, who are by themselves. And that's been our problem, right? We refuse to be holy
Right.
as a people. Go ahead.
And notice nowhere in this chapter did it say everybody,
Right. Come.
everyone on earth,
Damn right.
the world.
Damn
It didn't
right.
say none of that.
Damn right, I don't want.
Mm-hmm.
That is, you know, that's straight to this point, right? It's you are supposed to be a segregated nation who controls the world, who rules the world, and our problem has always been wanting to join and be with the other nations. That is our biggest problem.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because as soon as we decide that we get away from them, that's when we actually do better. Whenever we decide that we gonna stay to ourselves and just say forget everybody else, our nation comes up every time.
I'm right.
But somehow, some way, in modern times, it's been the pastor. You know what I mean? Is some of our people convince us that, hey, you know, it's nicer over there. They can do more things over there. It's more fun over there. And then we walk right on over into destruction. Right? The Most High created us to be separate. Period, point blank. We're not supposed to be joining with nobody else for any other reason, right? Now, don't get me wrong. We can do business with anybody. You know what I'm saying? We can speak to respectably anyone.
That's
right? We can conduct ourselves as decent people. However, we don't have to. We need to stop allowing them to be our influence. We need to stop allowing them to be our guide.
Right.
Right. We need to stop being intimate with them, and not just physically, right? Spiritually, because you give your heart and soul over, because that's what we as a people do. When we invest, right? That's why we get so upset or so mad when somebody turns on us or betrays us, because we didn't put everything into that, right? So we need to pull that from the other nations.
Damn right.
Like I said, you know, it's perfectly fine to go out there and not in a deceitful way, but to take Edomites' money. You know what I mean? You can do business with them. You can do all that. You know, you ain't got to, again, I'm not promoting robbing any other nation because you shouldn't be robbing anybody. But to do business, you know what I mean? To have a lucrative contracts for you and yourself, and then you take that back and invest in your nation instead of always putting it back in theirs, right? Because we love them as a people. We love them. We love them more than we love ourselves, right? And the Most High is telling us here, when he is establishing us as a nation, that is not the way it is supposed to be. That is not the way we are supposed to do this. The way we do this is we be holy, separate. We rule, not serve. See, I was talking to one of my ribs the other day, and I was telling her, I said, listen, you know, when we get in our rulership, that's good for everybody. That's not just good for Israel. We're a more gracious ruler to Moab than the Edomites will ever be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We not shooting up their sex parlors. We just gonna stop them from having sex parlors. You're not doing that. You can run your business, but you're not doing that, right? We're not gonna have our foot on their necks for no reason. Now you break a law, I mean that's your head. But as long as you keeping laws, you ain't gonna have to worry about nothing. It's places in this country whereas a so-called black or Hispanic, you are afraid for your life just to even go through that area. It is not even because of your own people, because you might find yourself hanging from a tree. You didn't do nothing. You didn't, but you driving by, And sidebar, this is still a part of this though. I was talking, like I said, I was talking about Reb, and I said, because we were talking about where she was driving, and I said, you know, the so-called Jewish man, right, Amalek, right, after World War II, they removed them from that country. They put them in places to where they could rebuild a life, right? Where they put you? They put you in low-income housing after they let you out of slavery, and to this day, you still live near the plantation.
Right.
To this day, you still have to see the plantation. You know what I'm saying? They want to make sure you know where you belong.
And Salaki.
Go ahead.
And to this day, you still ain't figure out not to give your children the slave master's last name.
Damn right.
You still doing that.
Damn right.
That alone should be like, come on now, you still Mr. McCoy,
Right. Con.
you know?
Con.
No good.
And they not subjected, you know what I mean, the so-called Jewish man, you know what I mean, well, you know, you can't really get a job, and the job you get ain't gonna pay you too much, so we gonna put you in this low-income housing. Oh, where is it? It's right next to Auschwitz.
Man.
Oh, no, it's right there.
Right.
Like that sounds crazy. But then you look in America, and that's exactly what they've done to so-called blacks and Hispanics.
Right.
That's the exact same thing. Like, especially in like the southern states. You know, you can't tell me you don't know where 5-6 plantations are.
Right.
I remember when I first moved. Like I said, I live in St. Louis now, but I'm from Ohio. Right. First time I was here, and first time when I got here, I was with my rib, and she was taking me to a wedding. Right. We pull up. I read the sign. I'm like, "Did you just take me to a plantation?"
Damn right.
Like, oh yeah, they just host venues here. Plantations? That's just y'all just go have parties at plantations. Like this is
Good damn night.
this ain't cool. Like, do you realize what's going on here? And our people have just become so numb to their own pain.
Right.
That type of stuff don't even bother 'em. Like, no, I'm gonna take you and you gonna have a celebration right here where your great grandmother was hung because she didn't want to be raped anymore.
Right.
Right? Where your great grandfather was castrated. We taking you right there. Now have fun. Right? No, that's only what they do to so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? And why is that? Because we refuse to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, and we keep wanting to join these other nations.
Man.
We keep wanting to give our love to them. We keep wanting to go to them. Right? When the Most High set us up and established us as a nation, he set us up and established us to be separate, not to be dealing with them on that type of level. Go ahead.
And Salaki, when you do not obey the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments, and celebrate these holidays and not the Passover, you know, it's like a spit in the Most High in Christ's face.
Damn right.
And in the face of your ancestors. And then you blame it on the kids. You say it's for the kids, but guess what? You destroying your kids, man, because the Most High curse you and your kids. That's all I wanted.
And if it's for the kids, right?
Yeah.
If it's really for the kids, does it really matter what time of year you do it?
Man.
Because last time I checked, it's custom to give gifts at the Feast of Purim.
All right.
So if you want to say it's for the kids,
Do it then.
do Purim. In fact, Purim is after so-called Christmas, so you can get the sales for after Christmas.
Right. Use your brain.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so, and Nakers love to get together and eat.
Man.
I don't know if you've read this Bible, but every time a high holy day, every time a high holy day pops up, it's a feast.
Yes.
Except for the Day of Atonement, it's a feast. Why? To eat.
Man.
Get together over some good food. That's what we love to do.
Damn
We've
right.
always loved to do it, right?
Damn right.
So using that excuse that it's for the kids, is whatever, it's garbage. It's because you love your oppressor.
Yep.
That's what it is at the end of the day. You love your oppressor. The Most High set us up to be separate, to be different, not to be like these other nations. And we fight and literally kill ourselves to be like somebody who hates us.
Definitely.
It's just it's sick, the state that our people have come to. But things like the Passover, things like the Feast of Unleavened Bread, these are the things that are supposed to remind us, right, of where we come from and where we need to be going. And more of our people, are waking up to the truth. Like, don't get me wrong, it's still, I can't wait to see every man, woman, and child that's so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American walk in these doors and walk into the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. But our people are starting to understand that this world ain't meant for them.
Right.
That Christian church ain't got nothing for them. That this society don't care about you at all. Right? And then they're going to turn to their God. And I cannot wait for that day, right? Where we at, Ottawa?
We're on to verse 6. No, we down to verse 7.
Go ahead. Go ahead and read that one.
Exodus 19 and 7.
Uh-huh.
And Moses came and called for the elders of the people.
Right. So Moses went and got the elder. Now, the elders of the people, right, it always mean the oldest members of the people, right? In some cases, it is the fathers of families, the patriarchs of families. But in other cases, it's also those who are most respected.
That's right.
Right? Just because you old don't mean you old and wise. You could be an old fool. Right? When he talks about the elders of the people, he's talking about the leaders. Right? Like, for example, in my worldly family, right? My grandfather is the leader of my family, right? Now, in some other families, I know men who are, maybe the uncle or the grandson who has taken over that mantle. And even though there's older members in their family, they're the one who leads, right? So that is what it's talking about, the elders. It's not necessarily just talking about in age. It's talking about in respect, right? And we see that in the UPK as well, right? Because just because, like Cap say all the time, when he walked in, you know what I mean, as a trooper, it was officers that was 15, 16.
Right.
So he has to say Khan Khan. Why? Because that 15-year-old was your elder, even though you're in your 30s. You see what I'm saying? Because it's the respect, it's the dignity, it's the duty, it's what they've done, right? It's not just about age, right? So Moses is getting these elders together, these respected men in Israel, right? Keep going.
And laid before their faces all these words.
And so what he did was he basically took like like I was saying, the village leaders, the family leaders, and he showed them everything that the Most High said. He told them everything that the Most High said, right? He laid out all the facts before them and allowed them to know what the Most High said. Because here's what it is. This is the beginning of a covenant, right? Now, a covenant is a contract.
Right.
Right. So the Most High laid out his terms and agreements, right? And so what Moses did was he took those terms and agreements and took them back to the leaders of Israel and said, look, this is what the Most High has said, right? Keep going.
Which the Lord commanded him.
Uh-huh.
Verse 8, and all the people answered together and said.
So he got all these leaders, all these heads of families, right? And he laid out everything that the Most High said. And they got together and in one accord, they answered. What did they say? Go ahead.
All that the Most High has spoken, we will do.
Now, we as a people, see, the Most High didn't just lay his law, statutes, and commandments on us and say, now you have to do them, you're forced. We accepted. We agreed. Our rulers went out and spoke on our behalf. The Most High laid out his terms and conditions, and we agreed, right? We're in this condition because we agreed to a contract and would not fulfill it. We broke the contract, and which we entered into willingly. The Most High gave us this, he didn't give us this contract when we were in Egypt, right? He didn't give it to us when we were in the bondage. He waited till we got out and were free for 3 months and then said, okay, here are my terms and conditions. I did all of this for you. All I want is you to do this for me. And now I'm laying this out here. We could have said, yeah, Salaki, I don't think we're going to be able to do that. You might need to pick another people. And then went on our way. We were free. We weren't under duress. See, that's another thing about signing a contract, right? You can't be under duress when you sign a contract. No, that's not a valid contract. You can't. Your signature's no good if someone's holding a gun to your head. You see what I'm saying? That's not your word. That's your fear that you just signed with, right? We signed with our word. The Egyptians wasn't breathing down our neck. Their whole army just got wiped out. Like, they not coming for us no more. We're in this wilderness. There's nobody around us. Nobody's threatening us. And the Most High laid out terms and conditions. Hey, you want to follow me? You want to be my nation of priests? You want to be above everybody else on the face of the earth? I'll do that for you. Just do what I say. And we was like, all right, cool. We'll do exactly what you said. Right? We agreed to this, right? Like I said, this wasn't forced. This wasn't duress. The Most High isn't a tyrant, right? He is a stern ruler, but that does not mean he's a tyrant. He did not force this on us. We chose it. So our condition that we're in and we find ourselves in today, we chose this because we agreed and we went back on our promise. And on top of that, even after that, he still came in and gave us another chance. He still came in and gave us another covenant, even though he did everything right and we did everything wrong.
Right.
You got something to say? Right. 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 You can't blame them. You can't blame the Most High for your actions. But see, that is the misconception of the Christian church, right? The Most High controls everything that I want him to control. And don't forget the devil. The devil made me do it. That's a part of that too. Because you can't blame me for that. The devil made me do it. So why are you punishing me for what the devil did? All that's you. All that. Right? Our people do not understand accountability. Right? And that's what this scripture is all about. Is being accountable. Right? The Most High gave us laws, statutes, and commandments. He said, look, I'm about to get you just got to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments I'm about to give you. And y'all gonna be the best people on the face of the earth. In fact, let's see, what was it? So we're in Exodus 19, right? The next chapter is Exodus 20. That's where the so-called 10 Commandments are, right? And then there's 2 more chapters straight of just commandments, right? The Most High said, listen, this is a contract I'm laying out for you, and these are your laws, right? Just follow this. It's real simple. It'll make your life real easy. I made you, so I know that you can do it, and that this will make everything good for you. There's going to be nothing bad. Your women are going to be treated like princesses. Your men are going to be kings.
you're gonna be. It's like you're gonna be wealthy beyond all measure. Your kids is gonna grow up safe, and the world will be in harmony and peace because the nation of Israel is ruling.
Right. And Salaki,
Go ahead.
it's heavy that you just said what that last thing you just said because since 1969, the ISUPK has been teaching blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that our King Christ is going to return.
Damn
and
right.
We are rich, and the kingdom of heaven is to be ruled by our people. You know, and every other nation will be under us. You know, and how could you continuously listen to a stinking, pimped out preacher who wants to have sex with the men, women, and children in the church, and not listen to the priests and prophets in the ISUPK who are telling you the truth? How long are you going to be simple minded and dumb and stuck on stupid and continue to be led astray by this system, the so-called the white man, who is also the devil the Bible speaks of? How is you going to steady fall under this roost? You steady getting the wool pulled over your eyes. You steady being held back from your full potential, and with that being rulership over the earth under our King Christ. So you steady want to go into a church. You steady want to have a die-in. You steady want to get dunked in a tub of dirty, filthy water. You know, you steady want to believe in all these things that that are not relevant to obtaining the kingdom of heaven, man. You steady wanna be in this rut. You know, you like an earthworm in a foot track. You can't get out. You know, you come on, man.
Damn right.
Since 1969, man. Like I said, the Water to Commander General Yohana, all the generals, the officers, everybody, like you said, the elders. You broke the elders down. Some of their names yesterday in the Lashawan Quadash. You know, everybody needed that.
Damn right.
Like you said, we reverence those men, even if they dropped their sword or not. You know,
damn right.
They stood 10 toes down in this thing, and the men you see in all the camps in the ISUPK today, we gonna do the same.
Goddamn right.
You know, and shout out to the up and coming Hebrew Academy class, man. You know, them brothers gonna get it in, and I pray every last one of them brothers make it.
Damn
You know what I'm saying? And
damn right.
the Passover was glorious. You know, like the brother Quinai said, man, you should have it on the ranch every year. That outside Passover was the shiz knitted.
And Slovakia though, but you know, it was a lot of questions going into that Passover too. Like, hey, how it's gonna be? It's gonna be outside. It's gonna be hot.
Man.
Like, we gonna be able to. Man, that Passover was so beautiful. Otherwise, that Passover was just.
It was off the chain.
Damn right.
Brothers had 2-3 garments.
God,
You know,
count of the kind.
Shit, you know, I wore my cloth garment. I wish I would have worn my leather one though. Now since I see everybody had their leather on, dang, I should have. But next year I'm gonna be leathered up. You know,
right. And see, that's the thing. Speaking about that Passover and everything, our people need that.
Yeah.
Right. Like that needs to be put. That needs to be put on the news. Right. I wish for every so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American to see exactly what happened at that Passover.
Right.
Because outside of this truth, you don't understand that us as a people can get together and our women not be dressed like thoughts,
right,
or whores or strippers, and be beautiful, be princess. Man, them sisters was regal out of like they Go ahead.
I've been seeing on Facebook that a couple of sisters posted like, that Facebook been stopping them from liking and posting our pictures from the Passover because it's too many. Let that be the reason. We done post so many pictures and likes. They saying it's too much.
It's
Let that be the reason. Come on, man.
yeah, they listen. They cannot promote that much
man,
truth.
man.
Like this. Like those pictures are truth.
Yeah.
Out of line. Like
Time.
you sit there and look at those sisters. You look at those brothers, and you see how they truly look, how they truly are. Right. I remember I was looking at of a picture of a brother holding his 3 kids.
Right.
They don't want to. They not showing,
The
a
status.
loving
Yeah.
so-called black father holding his children, raising them upright. That's not something you can put on the internet.
Right.
That's not something you can just throw out there, right? And why is that? Because we keep joining these other nations.
Right.
And they don't want us to look at ourselves the way we should be looking at ourselves, right? This is why these laws, statutes, and commandments were given to us. This is why we were told to be a holy nation in the first place.
That's right.
Because as soon as we join other people, they cannot stand for us to look at ourselves as the way we're supposed to be, as the way we are. You got something to say, Trooper? Go ahead.
Right.
Damn right. But see, that's the problem. They have to. They have to destroy us because too many times we get together and have events like that Passover. We realize we don't need them. We don't need them for nothing.
Right.
You see that open marketplace we had set up right there on the main path where we dealing with each other in business. You know what I'm saying? And we over here. You see, Captain Tazariak stand with the oils. You see Penrose Apothecary with the candles and the wax. We see T-shirts. You see shooting vests. You see body armor. You know what I'm saying? You get craftsmen out there repairing different pieces of garments. You get everybody doing every single thing you can think of. We network with each other. Our oppressor cannot allow that. That's why you can't. That's why you don't want them pictures up. That gets out. That spreads too much. He has a problem.
Right.
Especially a financial one. He has a big problem on his hand. Because when Israel stands up and Israel stands for their own, his entire empire falls.
Damn right.
Right? His empire shouldn't have been built up in the first place had we followed the laws, statutes, and commandments.
That's
had we done what it said in these verses that we promised the Most High that we would do. Had we done those things, our enemy would have never had a chance. But in here, the ISUPK is the only place that you can learn to restore that heritage to your people. You can learn to restore that position in your people, right? And as we see our people even in the world are waking up, because the Christian church done got so out of hand that even one of our people who being a heathen right now is like, wait a minute, nah, that ain't right, nah. But our people love the Bible so much because it's a part of us. It's hard for our people just to lead a church. And even when they do, they still know that this Bible is true, but that church wasn't right.
Right.
And you damn right. The Bible is true, and that church is a lie. Because that church ain't teaching you nothing in here. That church ain't teaching you to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. That church is teaching you to disobey and disrespect the Most High to his face. In the ISUPK, we train real men and real women to learn how to take this kingdom back. You know what I'm saying? How to take over this earth and get in our proper position, right?
Damn right.
Were you done with verse 8?
Uh-uh.
Go ahead. Finish up verse 8.
And Moses returned the words of the people unto the Lord.
Mm-hmm. So Moses, Moses is basically, he was like a high priest, right? So what he did was he interceded. He interceded between the Most High for the people and Pharaoh. Now he's interceding between the people and the Most High, right? That's the same spot Yahushua is in, right? And this is what Christians don't understand, and fake Israelite groups don't understand either. They think that you're supposed to worship Yahushua. Yahushua is that intercessor. He's like what Moses did, right? He takes from the people and takes it to the Most High because we're unworthy. We were unworthy then to go before the Most High. We're unworthy now. We've always needed an intercessor. We've always needed a high priest. And after the Most High knew the temple was going to be destroyed. The Most High knew that we were going to be kicked out. So he knew that we would need a high priest who did not have to be on this earth at the time. He knew that we would need a high priest who could be anywhere and everywhere at all times. So Yahushua filled that role.
I'm right.
You know what I'm saying? Yahushua is that high priest. He is the intercessor. He's the mediator between the Most High and us because we are disgusting. And we even, like I said, we even then knew we didn't deserve to stand in front of the Most High. You have something you need to say? God, Moses was definitely a mediator. Moses was, and this is a key thing about Moses, right? Moses was raised in the house of Pharaoh, right? Now, again, Egypt was one of the largest world powers at the time, right? So what Moses learned was diplomacy, right? You have to learn to be a diplomat. It basically means you are a representative of a larger body, and you must bring forth their interests in a way that is appeasing to the other party that you're dealing with, right? So let's say you want to get a deal done between your country and another country, right? You can't make it look like only your country benefits when you're trying to deal with these other people because they're going to want to see where they get out of it, right? So what Moses is doing is he is taking what the children of Israel say and he's taking it to the Most High and he's bringing what the Most High says and giving it to the children of Israel in a way that not only that they can understand it, right, but in a way that is easy for them to deal with, right? Because now you have to deal with whatever he's brought back, right? And a big problem with a lot of our people is we don't know how to be diplomatic, right? We don't know how to say things in a way to get the point across without saying them in a way to somewhat harm the other party. You know what I'm saying? We need to learn how to talk to each other, basically. And Moses knew how to talk to the Most High, and he knew how to talk to people. This is also what they talk about in the book of Acts when they talk about the gift of speaking in tongues, right? It's not just dealing with another language, but in the most general sense, it's I can speak to you in a way that you can understand me, and then I can speak to another individual in a way that they can understand me. So then that way, when I translate between you and him, I can take your words and put them in a way he can understand them. And then I can take his words and put them in a way you understand them. You understand what I'm saying? So that's a skill. Like that's not everybody has that. And if you don't, you need to realize you don't and get out of out of roles that put you in a diplomatic position. But that is what Moses did. That was Moses' job. He was as a mediator. You know, he was a chief diplomat, right? He was the head ambassador for the nation of Israel to the Most High. And then he was the Most High's ambassador to Pharaoh, right? So yeah, he would definitely be a mediator.
And Salaki.
Go ahead.
It goes and the by the Most High choosing Moses. You know the story where he slew the Egyptian. Man, that's brotherhood. He had brotherhood. He was raised by these stinking Hamites, and he even before he knew the Most High, he had brotherhood in him.
Damn right.
You know that's a trait of Israel, man. We brotherhood is in us, man. We just gotta know how to do it. And the only way you're gonna learn how to do it is the law, statutes, and commandments.
Damn right.
And getting into these classes, man.
Damn
it's
right.
the only way you're gonna get the spirit of the Most High, man. What Moses felt. You know, commanding General Yohana. You know, all the generals, man. Come on, man. That's brotherhood. If it weren't for them brothers, man, ain't no telling where I'd be today. Now one of us.
Damn right.
You know, probably be in prison, jail, killed. Ain't no telling. Strung out, ain't no telling, man.
Damn right.
You know, cause these demons out here, man, they working on our people, man. And like you said, man, we gotta come back to the law, statutes, and commandments, man. Or these demons will work you over.
Damn right.
The Passover demon was in full effect. The after Passover demon is in full effect. You know, it's they coming from all angles, man.
Damn right.
But we got one refuge, and this is where it's at.
Damn right.
I was late today, but I was breaking my neck getting here. I got little rims on my van. I was hitting all potholes. I'm cursing the whole way. God damn. You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
Here I come.
And you know what though? That's again, like you said, it's the same thing with the pictures, right?
Yeah.
This world does not want the UPK to survive.
No.
The UPK is in direct opposition to everything this world stands for.
Yep.
And it is only for what the Most High has chosen and what the Most High wants, right? And we're unapologetic about it. And that's the thing that they don't like the most. Like you just don't care that you offended. No, we don't. We don't care you offended. Get out your feelings. Yeah. This ain't about feelings. This is about what the Most High has said. Because here's another thing about it. I can't change nothing in this book. I can tell you what it says. I can tell you what it means. I can't change this book. The Most High has spoken, period, point blank. This ain't my words. These ain't this man's words. These are the words of the Most High God, period, point blank. So when it says that we are to follow his laws, statutes, and commandments, that's it. That's all. There's the end of discussion.
Damn right.
That ain't. I don't have a feeling about that. There's no need to have a feeling about that. It's just do what you're told to do. Period. Right. And actually, yeah, it's like we done went a little bit over the time. So with that, Shalom, Israel.
Goddamn right. Ain't nothing like it. All you gotta do is stay in it.